Assalamu alaikum and good day to everyone. I'm back again live and just checking my sound. Yeah. So those who just join in, just say hi in the comments and do let me know from where you are joining. And if you could hear me loud and clear, just say yes. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so I am confirmed that my sound is hearable. Okay, thanks for joining. This is my second day going live. There were some issues in the slides when I recorded yesterday. So I will try to cover or redo it again. Let's open my chat. Hi, Rizwan. Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Rabia. Yes, and we got from Doha. Welcome. That's cool. Okay, so let's move on. Thanks for joining. The topic I'm going to explore for next 30 minutes is actually a summary of a workshop I have conducted at APMEC, Asia Pacific Medical Education Conference at Sri Lanka, Colombo last week. So I was thinking, I was thinking to share with my audiences on my YouTube channel and on LinkedIn. So let's move on. Ethical use of AI for teaching and learning. So what I did, this slide I or image I have generated using AI-enabled application called Imagine.art. So I just gave a prompt and modified a bit because in the circle in the middle, I actually use my own text box and put the title, and it goes well. Okay, so this is how we could use AI enabled applications for generating images, videos, text, slides. So I will be sharing with you some of the content which I use AI enabled applications to generate in this even in this presentation. Okay, so today I will try to cover introduction. Most of you already familiarized with AI and machine learning, deep learning, or generative AI, but just to refresh, and feel free to use chat and share your version of these definitions. And then I will touch a bit on ethical challenges we are facing when we are implementing AI, and how we could actually come up with certain frameworks uh, or customize these guidelines to be used in your own institution when you're talking about AI, ethical use of AI for teaching and learning. And at the later part of my session, I would be sharing some applications which I explored, and they are very interesting, very helpful when we are using these applications. And feel free to put your questions in the chat anytime you want, and later on I can actually take question and answer sessions also. Okay, so let's move on. Right, this is another slide I use AI enable applications, and where I give a prompt to the applications that come up with the slide, introduction about AI technology for education. And initially, my prompt was not accurate, so I modified a bit. It gives me more like business character, like coat, tie, and all that. And then I have added actually wearable computing, so it edits that goggle and some anatomy of body, but which may not be accurate. Okay, so again, I would suggest that you could use um, application of. Yes, I think only my mic and camera is on. Yeah, so you won't be your comments. I can actually display. No worries. Okay. Yeah. So I'm using Restream, the free version, where I'm streaming live on LinkedIn Learning and YouTube. You need to actually get LinkedIn Live permission from LinkedIn, then only you will be able to go live on LinkedIn. So I'm using Restream to broadcast or telecast to two platforms simultaneously. Okay, uh, let's move on, change the caption. Right, so I modified the prompt and it gives me some kind of anatomy of body, but which is may not be accurate. So you need to again use prompts. So what I was telling you, like use output of one AI enable application, like for example chat gpt. So refine your prompt in chat gpt and use that refined prompt into imagine.art to generate uh, graphics. But these slides, I think I use Gamma. I will share with you later on. Okay. I'm just looking at the chat also if any questions. Okay. So when I was in Colombo, Sri Lanka, before my workshop, I thought of asking a AI enable Imagine application, imagine.art, to come up with the graphics of Colombo city. I gave some prompts, but somehow it actually gives me this, which is not real. Uh, we don't have that many high-rise buildings on the beach of Colombo, but this is how they came up with this image or graphics. So you need to make sure your prompt is accurate, and not everything given by AI is actually accurate. So you need to verify, right? So let's start with introduction. I know most of you already know, so it will be a very quick refresher. um, how we learn from our observation, from hearing, from using our senses, or from our environment, right? And we don't know who actually taught us to, I mean especially me, to button or chew food. But unconsciously we learn from our environment, or maybe our mother actually taught us when even we were very young. So what we um, trying to do in artificial intelligence, we try to mimic how human learn, how all algorithm can learn a bit. Okay, will not replace us yet, right? So artificial intelligence is actually mimicking human intelligence, how human learn in algorithm. And then we have AI is a bigger circle. Then we have machine learning. So machine learning is a subset of AI where it learns from the mistakes of algorithm automatically, or automate the correction of algorithm. And then we have deep learning, which is specializing uh, certain areas. Okay, it's subset of machine learning, subset of AI also, where we extract large patterns from large data, and we try to feed in this learning or patterns into algorithm. And whenever we are given unseen data to these algorithms, it could actually categorize, for example, okay, or label. So machine learning is subfield of AI, right? Now, how it works very quickly, we have data as a X, we have a model or algorithm, and which will predict outcome. So here we have supervised learning where expert uh, or we have expected that outcomes we have. So we compare with the predicted outcome of a model with the expected outcome. And if there are some errors, we need to again go back and adjust the model or fine tune our algorithm until unless we reach our expected outcome of the model. And once we reach to that level, we fix our model and we let our model to be given unseen data, not the trained data. Okay, and then we can actually expected some outcomes, expected outcomes. Okay, here we have unsupervised learning where we just now I was telling you, like given the data as an input, model is trained already and it generates examples. And sometime we use machine learning here also. It actually try to adjust and fine tune the minor errors we are facing. Okay, so let's move on. Deep learning, we use artificial neural networks. Uh, and this is where uh, I don't need to go technically, but looking at the graphics, we have different layers in neural networks. First layer, blue one will be input, and the green one will be the output layer. And in between, we have hidden layers, and we try to adjust the weights to find the appropriate outcomes. So technically they are a bit complex, but when it comes to results, amazing results, produced by neural networks or artificial neural networks. And it works the way how human brain or neurons works, by building connections and adjusting the weights. Okay, now, this is how we try to provide link of machine learning. Then we have deep learning, and inside deep learning, we have generative AI, or ChatGPT is one of the example of generative AI. And it's actually a subset. And why we say generative AI? Because when we give prompt, the algorithm could generate output which is actually new. It actually generate based on your prompt some results. Okay, hope so far everything is clear. Please just say yes in the chat so that I know everything is going fine. Okay, we have Dr. Rabia from Pakistan. Thanks for joining. Okay, so let's move on. This is a very good graphics where it actually shows in detail um, how artificial intelligence. Thanks for feedback. We have machine learning, we have deep learning, then we have generative artificial intelligence, and then we have GPT. Okay, generative pre-trained transformers. It actually tries. It's example of large language model where we use neural networks, and it actually transform your prompt and generate outcomes. Okay, and you could see now chat gpt 5 is also released. So they are just making sure these algorithms, this artificial intelligence is not new. Okay, more than 50 years ago this term coined in. And why we got excited, I think about a year ago, when chat gpt was offered to public, and it incorporates natural language processing. It got huge data and high processing of computing and very intelligent or artificially intelligent algorithm. And that's why whenever you give prompt, you ask questions from ChatGPT or generative AI applications, it try to mimic human response, and you get excited. Actually, it goes back, dive into large language model, and there is some statistics involved also, which actually checks uh, the probability of next word in that large language data or model. uh, these algorithms are trained. So that's why when you regenerate it actually shuffles, it actually changes some words, and you feel like, oh, it's more like human feeling, right? But the key to all this generative AI is your prompt. So I would suggest try use multiple applications. It may happen that certain applications can give you much better result based on your prompt, because maybe the trained data was close to the prompt or question you asked to these generative AI applications. So try to use multiple applications, and you will find certain applications are suitable for certain prompts. Okay. So let's move on. And this is large language model, where it's actually a subset of deep learning. And all these slides I got from Google Cloud, and it's nicely predicted, like nicely designed these slides. Now here on top, where we have data and labels, so we feed into our predictive machine learning model. So these labels are done by experts, by humans, okay, and we fed in to algorithm, and algorithm will learn based on and give you outcome and label, right? So here label would be like number, class, or category or probability, and then we have unstructured content, where we give input. The way we send the prompt, that is what we say unstructured. And we use generative AI model, it learns pattern in unstructured content, uh, and dive into your large language model at the back and give you output. And sometime, or most of the time, it's a new content. So if you are given a prompt, and it will actually generate an image. So prompt is in a text, or we call actually multi-language, multi-model also, like where we have multiple inputs, and it can generate even image, audio, or nowadays even videos, okay, based on your prompt. And don't be surprised. We have tried, it can generate even code, programming code, even you don't know anything about Python, for example. Give a prompt, give your problem or challenge, and it will generate code. Most of the time the code is accurate. So amazing, and we have tried many times, and it works with minor fine tune. Okay. So this is where the unstructured content is actually in the form of natural language programming or prompt. Okay. Now, Gemini's, this is given by Google, and you could see input could be text, voice, even image, or even a video. Okay, and it transform into image decode or text decode, and it can generate more more refined outcomes. Okay. Now, introduction to AI. Now, I'm going into ethical use of AI. I searched, and this slide is actually made by Gamma. So I got the UNESCO framework for AI use for teaching and learning. I got that document downloaded and gave to Gamma as an input, and I asked Gamma AI-enabled application to generate few slides in a summarized form. So based on UNESCO framework, Gamma generated these slides. So I'm sharing with you ethical frameworks. So there is a question, high debate going on among educators. Is it ethical to use AI? So there are certain gray areas, but we need to clearly mark our boundaries and come up with guidelines or framework. So what I would suggest, use these frameworks as a reference, but always go back to your wherever you are, in which country you are in. Contact the Ministry of Education. They might have some guidelines. So follow those guidelines where you are in, your ministry allows you. And I would suggest each and every institution should have their own framework. Within those guidelines, you could come up with nice framework, customized framework for your own institution. So these frameworks, which I'm going to share, will just provide guidelines or principles to address ethical implementation of AI technologies. will be sharing the recording. Yeah, I think you can go back to my YouTube channel. It will be recorded there. You can always watch. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. Like importance of ethical frameworks in education. What ethical consideration we need to consider when we are talking about AI? Certain countries, they are very strict. They already make a law that if you are using any AI generated content, you must declare. China is one of the example. US, UK, they have actually at government level some rules. All they come up in the like law or framework. How ethically you could use AI applications, because it could be very dangerous. If we don't follow ethically, or ethical principles. So first of all, the first key component in this framework is promote transparency, or fairness. I give you example. Uh, if I have to evaluate my help desk staff, and what is their criteria, how nicely you communicate, right? And it so happened that they are using AI enable applications, and suddenly their feedback from the customers getting very high rating. So this is where I, as a boss or manager of that department or lead of that team, I should make sure all help desk staff should have that software AI enabled. So give them that equality, like they should have equity, they should have the access to the resources, and then fairly we can actually evaluate our staff. And then accountability. So these are the three criterias we should put into our um, application of AI technologies. Okay, and then student safety. What we need to promote uh, critical thinking of students. Don't let them, sorry to use this word, lazy. Like they start over dependent on these applications, and they forget how to critically evaluate. And then try to highlight the biasness of AI enabled applications. So, especially underdeveloped countries or even developing countries, if we are not contributing to this data set, most of the data they are trained on is actually from different part of the world. So you need to make sure, you need to understand that there will be bias because of the data fed into these AI algorithms or systems. So we need to create awareness among students that not everything given by AI enabled applications are true. Okay, I give you example of Colombo image just now, and many more. Even the anatomy part was not clear, accurate. Now, key consideration of AI ethical frameworks: transparency, equity, and adaptability. So make sure each and every student should have access to all these applications if you have allowed them, in your own institution, right? So again, these slides are made by Gamma AI Enable. I will share with you later on the details. Now, there are few case studies, few universities, they have already implemented AI ethical frameworks. Harvard University is one of them. They promote integrity, student privacy protection, and ethical use of AI tools in learning process. Stanford University is more like on administrative decision making, and I will be sharing later on, Dr. Asra Yasmin, which applications. Yeah. So looking at this, I like this. This is where artificial intelligence is strength of artificial intelligence. It could assist us in administrative decision making. I repeat again, it it's going to assist us. It's not going to replace us. Okay. So AI enable applications. So just imagine if you have a lot of clauses, a lot of conditions to check. Being a human, sometimes it's not that easy to make sure that every condition is met for when we are making decisions. But when it is AI enabled or computing algorithm, it can perform much better. So Stanford University, they focus more on administrative decision making, Then University of Cambridge, they focus more on well-being, of students, and that's very important also, like how they would actually humanize AI, or technology, right? So these are three universities case studies, so you can actually search more in detail. And best practices for implementation, uh, educational integration. So our focus should be more on learning, not focusing on technology, and it should be integrated with curricula and aligned with institutional policies. And there must be seamless implementation. So if you have decided to integrate AI into your teaching and learning process, so it should be seamless. Then we need to involve all stakeholders when we are going to design or define these guidelines, or defining AI ethical framework. All stakeholders, diverse stakeholders, will be very helpful in setting up all the boundaries or do's and don'ts, right? Even parents would be very nice to be part of that team who should actually guide us, right? Then we have continuous training. That's very important because technology is evolving very fast, so we need to make sure that there must be continuous training to all these stakeholders, especially our faculty. Sometimes there is a gap between faculty and students' level of IT or IT literacy level. So we should make sure that they are well trained, how they could actually use ethically all these AI enabled applications. Okay, so let's move on. Now, collaboration and stakeholder involvement. Yeah, collaborative engagement is very important, and that's the reason why I come into this part. And thanks for Malik Abrar for giving this feedback. The reason of coming live and getting more people to collaborate in coming up with sharing your own ethical issues in your institutions, and we learn from each other and try to, um, implement successfully and effectively. Okay, and student representation is very important. So here, from students, because they are digital natives, we are digital immigrants, so let them tell us how they would like to use AI ethically, and we could actually get input from them. Okay, overview of UNESCO AI framework. So this is what the document in the PDF form, about 30 pages plus, I gave to Gamma, and Gamma actually summarized. So comprehensive development, it actually wide range of domains, including education, culture, and science, to ensure the responsible use of AI for societal benefit. Okay, so that's where this framework is very strong at. International collaboration. So UNESCO encourages uh, international collaboration, and value-driven approach framework is underpinned by ethical principles, promoting AI application that align with human rights, transparency, and fairness. So I repeat again, yes, this is very subjective, ethical aspect of something. Uh, cert, I mean, certain things are ethical in certain part of the world, and in other part of the world, it may not be ethical. So, what I would suggest to you, use these frameworks as a guideline and follow your own Ministry of Education guidelines also, and adopt your own customized framework or guideline for your own institution, so within the limits of these guidelines. Okay, so that would be more suitable rather than copy and pasting whatever actually these international bodies are guiding us. It may not work, successfully. So now, here key features of UNESCO's AI framework: diversity and equity, educational impact. So they focus more on education, not on like promoting technology, And the last part is very important, and I like it, is cultural preservation. So make sure all these tools and technology should not, destroy our culture. So that's very important part. Okay, challenges in implementing ethical AI frameworks. So I already highlighted to you data bias and fairness issues. So I would encourage each and everyone from developing countries or underdeveloped countries, please contribute more data to these algorithms. So then that's the only way to reduce this gap. If we just complain and we said like, oh, these algorithms are biased, because the majority of data available to these algorithms are from that part. Is from that part of the world. So you need to make sure that you are contributing to that data set and share your own examples. All these open generative algorithms, use them, but don't share your secret data. Okay, because anything you share onto these algorithms, it will go into public domain. But if any secret data you want to share, then you have to subscribe, you have to pay a slightly high price and sign agreement with these companies for non-disclosure agreement. So whatever data you upload, it won't be shared in public domain. So that would be the best example. uh, Now, regulatory adoption, yeah, as I was highlighting to you, you have to actually follow up what's your ministry allows in your country and align with that, and what's your university is allowing, and try to adopt and integrate into your framework. And accountability, there must be a structure of accountability. Just now, like, you can't blame if it's in a healthcare setting or diagnostic phase. You can't blame a algorithm. You need to have someone who is accountable if something goes wrong. So that's very important to appoint someone. Now, ethical challenges and concern in AI for teaching: algorithmic bias, data privacy. So make sure that, and ethical decision making. Um, it's not that, as I was highlighting to you, certain part of the word is ethical, but certain part is not. So make sure you fine tune these algorithm by training them, by spending some time, like I would say 1 week. I always say 1 to 2 weeks. Let use that application. So application would profile you, like, will know your interest, and then only it can actually give you much accurate results, when you actually train those machine learning algorithms. Now, this, sorry, I don't have the reference. I got this from LinkedIn. Whoever actually is one of the educator, very nicely, he was actually working on this framework, AI competency framework for teachers. And I like also because the first thing he put also ethics of AI, and then foundation of AI knowledge, AI skills, AI pedagogy, and how we could actually assist professional development when it comes to educators. So feel free to use this table and add in more aspects and enhance and share back to LinkedIn community. Now, I like these terms. So where we are now, we are somewhere here, AI tutoring and social AI in between that. And future is on immersive AI, like using virtual reality or chatbot or scenarios which are developed by with the help of AI. So for currently, we are working on how we could come up with the tutor, AI tutor. There are few professors, they are using, I think, the latest version of ChatGPT, and they fed into most of their slides, their recordings, and they customize. So that chatbot will be only mining the data from their own personal uh, data which they have shared. So it's like replica of a professor, and this is where they act. This chatbot will act as a tutor, or personal assistant. I will be sharing, I think, one app also. Okay, so this was like in the past, self-paced courses and sport and adaptive learning. Khan Academy is one of the best example you could actually try explore. They have implemented even AI tutoring also. Okay, so let's move. Hope everything okay. Yeah, so now I'm sharing applications. So Gamma is one of my favorite application, and I have to do a disclaimer here. I'm not getting any commission from these applications. It's just I explore, and if any application I like, or it actually meet my expectation, I share in public. So I'm using the free version. So there is a paid version also. You can actually scan this QR code or follow this link. Every subscriber who will use this link, I will get some credits or coins. That's all. And that's how I'm still using the free version. And you could actually promote this app, very powerful. They You can upload a document, it can generate slides, or you can actually just type in prompt and gives you outline. You could adjust, and they're adding a lot of graphics. You notice a few of my previous slides, actually I use Gamma. Sometimes these graphics are not accurate, so you can actually replace. They can give you this freedom of replacing this. And if you really like this application, then do subscribe. They have minimum charges to pay yearly, and then you can use that. Okay. Yes, this is a very powerful application. Just now, someone asked which is the most recommended application. So I would say magicschool.ai is the application which actually covers. Every week they will add some new applications, onto their platform. Recently, they have added, like how to create a short video for micro learning content from your prompt. So you can actually go, and it's free. They have paid version, but I always use free version. Okay. Any questions so far? Yes. So if it's all okay, great. Then I'm sharing another application, and this is imagine.art, which you can use output of ChatGPT, that prompt, and convert that prompt into graphics. And free version only allow you for 50 graphics per day. Uh, if you really like this, then please go and subscribe. Sometime you really need to elaborate in detail. The more detailed prompt, the more accurate image it can generate. And a lot of people ask me questions: who owns copyright of the image generated by AI applications? So it's a gray area, but it all depends. If you not exactly copied the existing material, then you are safe. So most of these algorithms, you notice that even they blur the face or they change the face to more alien kind of thing to just avoid that copyright, breach. So you can explore these tools, right? Bard is another one which actually Google have launched, and OpenAI, ChatGPT. We have Microsoft also Copilot integrated with all applications. So I foresee in future no applications will can survive without AI enabled features. So try I was telling you in the early stage also, like, use multiple applications. So it may happen that your prompt may get better result from certain applications, and your another prompt may not have say better result from the same application, because it all depends on the data set algorithm is trained, or sometimes the prompt trigger the mining of that algorithm, and it goes into and hit the diamond or hit the accurate data. So that's why try on multiple applications and you will get great result. Okay, Gemini, yeah, this is the new name they give. Yeah, so this is what I was telling you about AI tutor. So this is already, I think one of the Canadian institution used it. Wow, I forget to put QR code here. So the URL is AI Teaching Assistant Pro.ca. So you can Google it, and I have tried it. It's giving us very good results. So still free. You can generate a lot of multiple questions, essay, and even lesson planning. For using this platform or website. Okay, may I know what is this? This is Terminator, right? Or no, it's actually Harvard University. What it does actually, it like the previous application, they have actually AI enabled personal assistant for teaching. So what Harvard did actually, oops, sorry, let me go back. Yeah, so it actually copied all the slides by one of the senior professors and feed into this humanoid or bot with AI, and let the current cohort is taught by this. They are teaching, letting this robot to teach current cohort, and they are actually going to compare between the cohorts taught by professor and cohort teaching by this. Can you type the URL or the name for website assistant? Okay, sure, sure. Is let me search and I can give it to you. It's actually, if you can go back, is yeah, this is the one. Is AI teaching assistant pro.ca. AI teaching assistant pro.ca. Oops, I give space there, no space. Oops, T was there before. Oops, it's not coming. Why? Let me check again. AI teaching assistant. There's one S missing in that. Assistant. Yeah. So hopefully it's clear now. Yeah, this is the one, right? Let me give you the QR code. Oops. And just yeah, share here. Create QR code. Yeah, so this is the QR code. You can actually scan this. Oops, maybe you're not seeing it. Let me let me share again my screen. Okay. So let me share again the QR code. Yeah. So maybe you're not seeing because I'm just sharing. Okay, sharing the screen. Only. Okay, just give me a minute. I can actually paste it here. Okay. So now I can share again. Sorry for this because I forget to put QR code there. Yes. So now you could see that, right? So just scan this QR code. You will get actually into the website and it gives you. Okay. Happy to hear that you can access now. So let's move on. Yeah, so I was telling about Harvard. They have tried, copied all the slides and recording of senior professors who's going actually retired already and fed into algorithm or this AI enable uh, bot. And now current cohort is this bot is teaching, and then they will compare which one will perform better. What do you think? Which one will perform better? With all due respect of senior professors, but I foresee this bot will perform better because being a machine or bot throughout you will have a consistent in mood. Sometimes you are not in good mood, you can't actually fetch and recall cases of 10 years, 20 years, but these machines are smarter and stronger in getting back to the data and sharing it. Okay. Now there is a new mode of hybrid learning. So here in Michigan University, they have bring the humanoid robots to the other side. Like your classmate will be a bot, so you have very challenging tasks to compete with the robots, AI enabled robots, and getting top grade. So they are experimenting that. Now, conclusion: the role of stakeholders in promoting ethical AI. For educators, you need to adopt and promote ethical AI practices. Follow the your ministry's guidelines, your university's guidelines or framework if you have there. Then, for students, we need to advocate for AI system that prioritize fairness, okay, and transparency to ensure an inclusive learning environment. So that's focus should be on learning. Then policymakers establishing the regulations that encourage ethical use of AI enabled applications, okay, and their impact on education, positive impact. So for all these stakeholders, make sure at the end of the day we are promoting digital literacy skills and enable users to critically access the outcome of all these AI enabled tools. So don't focus, like on tool or technology we should encourage. So there are certain universities, they have changed their assessments. So they allow their students to use AI enabled applications, but it's no more recall knowledge kind of assignments or assessment. They are asking them to compare the result of different AI enabled tools results and evaluate. So another model, they use 80/20. 80% they allow students to copy whatever AI enabled tools generated, but 20% part they have to write themselves. So like they need to learn. If they can learn with using these tools, why not? So we should not limit them. Okay, so let's move on, and this would be my summary slide. We have covered about introduction like AI, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, and what's their relationship. And then I actually touch a bit on different frameworks covering ethical challenges or use guidelines. UNESCO is one of them. And then shared with you all some applications. So feel free to share the recording of this and ask any questions, and that's how collaboratively. So someone asks the recording, so it will be available on my YouTube channel, so feel free to subscribe and share with your network this channel. I normally do broadcasts on technology enhanced learning related, or sharing some of the tools for technology enhanced learning, right? This is my still using WordPress and SlideShare. That Twitter is should be updated to X, right? That's my X handler, H Baloch. You can always contact me. Actually, we conducted the 3 hours workshop on this topic in AppMac, and it was very interesting. Like different part of the world participants were there, and we discussed their challenges one by one, and come up at the end of the session customized framework which they could be actually implementing once they will go back to their institution. So thanks for your time. If you have any questions, I am here to address them. Use your comment, you can paste, and I can see in my chat. So once again, I'm using Restream, which is I'm using free version. Okay, so I can stream onto multiple platforms. So currently, this live streaming is going on my YouTube channel and LinkedIn. And thanks to LinkedIn giving me this live LinkedIn option. Yes. Can we have your email ID? Okay. You can actually, let me show you. I would prefer to use these platforms to communicate. Okay. LinkedIn is one of them. So feel free to message me and then I will share with you. No issue. Okay. It's my pleasure. Thanks for, taking your time and listening and still at the end you are still around. That's cool. Thanks for that. Yeah. Yes. Any other question? If not, then we will end our session and stay tuned for my next live session. I'm actually planning to share one of the iSpring e-authoring tool, how we could use these e-authoring tools to convert our content more effectively, and all these tools nowadays they are working on adding in AI also. Same to you. Have a nice day and stay safe wherever you are. And thanks once again. Okay, let me change. It's like one man show, so I'm in the studio of Restream, managing the lower third and all that. Okay.